Morning, parents. Welcome. Good morning, parents.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Parents, give us a couple of quick minutes as we allow for all of our attendees to populate. In the meantime, good morning from John Burroughs Middle School. I see a lot of familiar names. Good morning, parents. Miss Knapp. So Miss Echeverria, can you tell our parents to that if they need?
Buenos días, padres. ¿Se ocupan traducción?
We can't hear you, Miss Echeverria. We can't?
Disculpe. Disculpen, si ocupan traducción, por favor vayan abajo a la pantalla, de su pantalla, va a haber una barrita con un círculo que parece un mundo para interpretación. Presione ese botón y elija el español para tener traducción en español.
Can you hear me? Okay.
9 to 30. Go for 30.
Okay.
Can you go to Ms. Lee's office and see if you can get her audio working?
I am having trouble technical difficulties this morning, as always. So welcome to the world of online learning. We are still waiting for a couple of more parents to come in. But in the meantime, please check in the chat portion of, on the bottom of the browser, you have a chat portion. Please check that for the attendance sign-in sheet. We would greatly appreciate if you can sign in this morning. It looks like our attendees have kind of evened out. So good morning from John Burroughs Middle School. How is everyone? So again, we have Mr. Morales as our interim principal, but we have a lot of important updates. And again, this is kind of a preparation plan. We're not saying that we're going to go ahead and open up school like, tomorrow, but Mr. Morales has a lot of important updates, as does the administrative team. As you know, Dr. Martinez has trained us. Our biggest priority is being transparent with all of our families. So throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, please pose your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. There's a chat portion and there's a Q&A box. Please go to the Q&A box. So Ms. Diana Galvez, I see that you already have your hand up. Whatever question that you have, please post it in the Q&A portion. Spanish, English, and Korean. All right, Ms. An, can you start the presentation, and Mr. Morales will be starting us off.
Good morning, parents, and welcome. The reason why we're meeting today is because after the coffee with the principal last week, we have received new information regarding the possibility of returning to school sometime in the future. Let me be very clear to you. We are not coming back to school before the holidays, and there's no official date when this may happen. I'm gonna repeat this again because I know you are concerned about that. We are not coming back to school before the holidays, and there's no official date when this may happen. Next slide, please. Next slide. I think, yes, thank you. Okay, so at today's meeting, we will share our preparations for a safe return to campus. Feel free to grab a pen and paper to jot down important phone numbers or websites. First, please write this date, December 6th. This is the due date for you to fill out the program selection form. We will explain to you what it is a little bit later on, and we will show you what the link where you need to go in order to be able to do this. We will share the Return to Campus Family Guide, which provides information on the health and safety practices we have put in place to ensure the well-being of everyone in our Los Angeles Unified Community. We will also share the process for families to select the program option for their child. Click, please. You will hear about the safety protocols we have put in place district-wide. You will see how school campuses and classrooms are getting ready to welcome students and staff back on campus. There will also be an opportunity to get your questions answered. Throughout this meeting, please feel free to enter your questions in the Q&A box. Next slide, please. So when can we come back to school? The question about when we open school is based on guidelines set by our public health authorities, both the California Department of Health and the County of Los Angeles Public Health Department. LA Unified is also working with scientists from our partners at Stanford, Johns Hopkins, and UCLA to help guide the decision-making process around a safe return to campus. One of the data sets that LA Unified regularly monitors is the data shared from the California Department of Public Health. The California Department of Public Health shares the data for every county on the website that you see on your screen. Data for each county is shared using the following color coding system to define the risk level from purple, which is defined as widespread, to yellow, which is minimal. As of November 20, as of today, the current level in LA County is tier 1, which is purple. In order for schools to reopen, LA County needs to be on the red that is tier 2 for at least 3 weeks. As previously shared by Superintendent Buettner, the opening of schools for this semester will not be possible. Feel free to visit the California Department of Public Health website for detailed information and data. Next slide, please. When you go to this website that you see on your screen, you can see the map of the state of California to see how LA County ranks with the rest of the county. You see a gray arrow that is actually showing you LA County is in purple, as you can see, and most of California, if you look at the map, is actually in purple, which means that the pandemic is widespread at this time. Next slide, please. So what are the options for your child? We have planned to offer families 2 options for student learning. We encourage families to select the option that would best suit their children and provide them the best opportunity for safe success. Click, please. One option is hybrid learning. This model allows students to spend a portion of their day learning in person, on site, face-to-face with a teacher, while the other part of the instructional day will be completed online. The other option, click please, is a full online learning, just as students have been participating up to this point. Currently, this is what we have in place. Now, Ms. Armendariz will explain to you a little bit more about those 2 options.
Thank you, Mr. Morales. Good morning, parents. So the most important thing, one of the key things that you need to know about the difference between hybrid learning and online learning is that hybrid learning would require that your students come onto campus for at least a portion of the school week. So here are some bullet points that kind of go over what that model would look like. In hybrid learning, students attend campus for a portion of the week with fewer students on campus at any given time. They remain in the same classroom while on campus with the same group of students in a consistent cohort. Once again, they would stay with the same small group of students for their entire time while they're on campus. And one of the reasons for this is for added safety. Students continue learning online on days when they are not on campus. During on-campus days, students may engage in both in-person and remote instruction while on campus. Students will continue learning with a full schedule of courses. So if we can click for the other side, Ms. On. Now, online only learning, these are the key points to consider. In online only learning, students participate in all learning online with a mix of live instruction with their teacher and independent work time. Students will continue learning online 5 days a week. That means that in this model, they do not come onto campus. It is essentially what we are doing right now, the model being kids are only learning from home. Meals would be available to students on campus through Grab and Go. So that will be available to students even if they're working from home entirely. This is another key piece to remember. You can opt into a hybrid learning model at designated points in the school calendar. We still do not know what those key points are. The LAUSD has still not told us those timeframes. But if at any point in time you as a parent want to opt into the learning model for hybrid where kids are on the campus, there will be specific times for you to be able to make that choice. Next slide. So you as a parent have the right, obviously, to let the LAUSD know what you want to do, what you want to select for your child or for your children. So there is a guide called the Return to Campus Family Guide, which I believe you should have already received, as the district did indicate that they would be sending out to you this week. I believe they indicated it would go out by mail. It would go out by any means that we have available. If we have your email address on file, the LAUSD was going to send this to you directly. If we can click for the next item, Ms. On. Your deadline, parents, to submit your selections will be Sunday, December 6th. Very important. Your deadline to make your selection on whether you want the online learning or the hybrid learning will be Sunday, December 6th, okay? There is also, go ahead, did you want to say something, Ms. Lee?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you also hear the echo?
A little bit, yes. So parents, if you wanted to go to that link to get additional information and make your selections, the link is listed there on the slide. But once again, you do have a little bit of time to make this decision, but you do have to make it by December 6th. And as Mr. Morales said, we are not going to go into any type of new shift into new learning, into hybrid at this point in time. It is not for the first semester. The district is projecting out to spring semester, okay? And again, I want to reiterate, there is no firm date on the calendar as of yet provided by the LAUSD on what that day will be. And I know that that is one of the key concerns that you have as a parent, and we totally understand it, but there is no set date at this time.
We just wanted to also share, parents, that the Wednesday when we come back from break, right, Ms. An? That Tuesday or the Wednesday, we will be hosting a workshop just to focus on Parent Portal and this program selection. So the Parent Portal offers a wealth of information. Many of you are probably already on it, but just in case you need clarification, Ms. An will be offering a workshop, and our workshop dates will be posted on our website as well as our social media. Ms. An, can you confirm what date that is going to be?
Yes, that will be on December 2nd.
That's the Wednesday, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Hartman.
Yeah, no problem. So one of the key things that Miss Lee just offered you something really important, parents, because it may be, you may struggle with kind of how to navigate, you know, an online platform. If you are one of those individuals that needs assistance, we encourage you to participate in any opportunity we have to kind of go over this process with you. So I encourage you to participate in this opportunity that Miss Lee just spoke about. We actually learned just yesterday that while you're doing the application, if you forget to click your child's grade level, the actual process of the survey will not even allow you to go on to the next question of hybrid versus online. So it is very, very critical that you know, make sure you answer all of the questions very clearly and not miss anything, because then you'll kind of be stuck and you won't be able to finish putting in your choice. So it is very important. If you feel like you may need some help with it, please let the school know or attend one of these learning opportunities where we can help you out. Next slide. So once again, the choices are hybrid model or learning model. An additional thing that you need to know is that the superintendent has indicated that there will be on-site supervised care for your children after the school hours. However, we still do not have clear details on what that's going to look like, who specifically will be the individuals who will be doing the supervision. So please know that that is still a little bit up in the air. We do not have full details on how that will look, okay? But there will be more details to follow. As soon as we receive information about all of these moving pieces, we will make sure to communicate it to you. Also, school bus transportation will be available. If you had a child that had disabilities that used to come on a bus for special education, as we understand it, that will still be available to you. If you have a child that was on a magnet route before, and that's how your child got to school, again, that will still be available to you. Again, as soon as we get additional details, we will share them with you. And
Now-
next slide, go ahead.
Parents, again, as you register for the various areas, various portals, you may be in need of a student ID number, parent portal ID number, SS student ID number, and you may be at some point in time, I thought I had it, but obviously this is the wrong password. Now that's why Ms. Echeverria turned on her camera, because she is our point person. If you have any questions or concerns regarding parent portal PIN numbers, student ID PIN numbers, because they're different, don't ask me why. there's like 4 different numbers that you need that are vitally important to just navigating the systems in LA Unified. Ms. Echeverria has typed in her email, so please contact her. She can English, Spanish, she's working on her Korean. So even if she's unable to get that information to you, again, if you need Korean translation, we will figure it out together.
Any language, we'll figure it out. Just send your information.
Yes, Ms. Armador.
And Ms. Lee, I know that I'm about to hand it off back to you, but I did notice in the Q&A that somebody was asking for the URL again for the learning model selection. So I want to draw your attention to the item, the 3rd item on this list that says complete the online program selection form by December 6th. And there you see the actual link or the actual address to where you need to go ahead and complete your selection.
And all of this will be posted within the hour today, right after our meeting, especially in terms of the family guide, the return to campus family guide that you see in that picture, because we want our parents to be prepared. We would hope that you rest next week, but some parents may have additional time available. So some of the things that we can do to prepare for the potential return to campus are as follows. Now, scheduling a COVID test. At this time, it's not mandatory. They are asking us to do that with our families. But do know that when we do, if we do ever reopen, they will ask for a test that's more recent than November, right? So my suggestion, and I took my daughter to get tested just so that she can have some practice. Unfortunately, this is kind of like the norm. So if you want to do that, next week you happen to have time, please, that's the website where you can go ahead and schedule your appointment for your families. But if we do return to campus, I know that they will need a much more recent COVID test. So do know that if, again, we do reopen, that will be one of the preliminary obligations, responsibilities for the families if you choose the hybrid learning model. Secondly, we can't stress this over and over again. Please register on Parent Portal. It seems this is the primary method of communication that the district has. A lot of our choices, parent choices, are being given through the Parent Portal. So please, if you don't know, don't worry. When we come back, rest this next week. When we come back, we will have a workshop available and all of us will be there to support. The district is asking for parents and families to complete the online program selection form by December 6th. Again, that link will be active when we post this on our website. And I know that this may be kind of redundant, but if you haven't done so already, your child does need to practice wearing a mask. And I don't know, I know for my daughter, it's been quick and easy visits, right? Quickly to the grocery store, quickly to wherever we go. However, if a student is going to be participating in an online hybrid, in the hybrid learning model where they are on campus, it will be mandatory that they wear the mask throughout their stay here. So I know, I have a 7-year-old. How do I keep a mask on her? It's going to be, it's just, I've been doing it maybe 20 minutes at a time as we go on like car errands. Next slide. Again, for the Fairfax community of schools, when you schedule your appointment, LA High is just down the street, so quick and so easy. I know I took a test earlier this week. I went in at 2 p.m. Following morning by 7 a.m., I already had my test results. So again, another link, if you need to find your child's student ID in the Parent Portal, please go ahead and go onto that link or email Ms. Echeverria. Next slide. Now, let me introduce Mr. Gota, who and the entire team has been working on preparing our campus to be the safest, to ensure safety of everyone here, especially our students. And I know parents, this is what you're most interested in, right? If I choose the hybrid learning model, what does that mean? What will my child's day look like? So Mr. Cota.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Cota. I am in charge of facilities, and I've been working with the team to really delineate what our safety protocols are going to look like, what the classrooms are going to, how they're going to be arranged, how we're going to be moving around the school. And it all starts with the entrance. And we are driven by what we are calling the 3 S's. That is screening, sanitation, and social distancing. The screening happens at the front. If you can look at the next slide, and the front entrance, that's where we're going to be doing our screening. We will have personnel. There will be multiple entrances. This happens to be the main entrance to the school. There will be what we are calling a welcomer, somebody who's going to be welcoming everybody. That person will be in charge of asking you the health questions, the questionnaire, checking temperature. As you can see on the right side of the screen right now, that's what she is doing, checking the temperature. We will also check to make sure that you have your daily pass using the computer. If you don't have one, you'll be able to register to go through and get a daily pass, which gives you access to the school for that day. So that when you come in, if you already have a daily pass, you don't need to register. You just show us your daily pass, and then you can go on your way. This is right out at the front of the school by the main office. As you can see on the right side of that picture is the main office. We will have clearly delineated entrances and exits out of every office where that is possible. In the main in the main office, I'm sorry, there is 2 doors. The first door is the one you see. That will be the entrance. Around the corner of that building, of that hallway, is the exit. So there will be one way to go in, one way to go out. Next slide, please. And inside the offices, this is not our office, but we will be setting up our main office with dividers. We will have our custodial staff come in every hour on the hour to clean any common used areas. In the hallways, they will clean doorknobs. They will clean the desktops, the tops of the counters in the main office. And again, this is all for the safety of everyone, including our students, parents, visitors, staff, everybody. Next slide, please. In the classrooms, we are going to be clearly marking those desks that can be used by the students to sit. Wherever possible, we're going to try and remove the desk to make the social distancing a lot easier. Again, this is all safety protocols that we must follow. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have the space to be able to hold a class of 15, 12, depending on the size of the classroom, depending on the size of the class.
Mr. Cota, can I add one more thing, please?
Yes.
If you notice, these are the staff members, right? These are our little characters. Mr. Corral is never that active. I just want to clarify. Mr. Corral is never that active where he wants to participate. He's usually all the way in the back. So Mr. Corral is the one that helped us create this slide. So, you know, he just wants parents to know he'll be available for everyone.
He just wants parents to know he's really, really looking forward to having all our students, as are the rest of us. So please, this is what a classroom will look like. If you can go to the next slide, please. We are also going to very clearly mark our travels routes for moving down the hallways. On the left side, you can see there are arrows on the floor. There will also be arrows on the walls, letting you know which way to go. Hallways, because of doors opening and closing, we will have one-way traffic in the hallways. So around the corner will be this might be the entrance. Around the corner might be the exit route. So one-way traffic. Same thing on the stairways. They will be clearly marked on the floor as well as on the walls. Where possible, we're going to have up traffic and down traffic if the space permits. Otherwise, there will be an up stairway and a down stairway. Again, this is all safety protocols. Social distancing and masks are required at all times. Next slide, please. As we move to the outside, again, this is all safety. We want to make sure that we don't have bunches of students bunching up in walkways. This is the area right outside the main office in the bungalows. So this is where a lot of our sixth grade classes are, for example, and we will have clearly marked travel routes. We will have staff out there making sure that we are following social distance protocols as well as traveling in the right routes. So they will be clearly marked on the floor. Same thing in the bungalows area. And this is looking towards the main building from the bungalows area. Again, a lot of these are our sixth grade classrooms, but a lot of these are also our science classrooms. So we want to make sure that we keep our social distance, that we will have clearly marked routes, one-way routes in some very narrow walkways. This again happens to be the bungalows. Now we're moving into the PE and the back of the bungalows, the B30s. And again, staff will be present everywhere, making sure that we are keeping our social distance and that we are following the protocols. In 153, for example, which is one of our science classrooms, there's one entrance. So we will make sure that we have somebody stationed there, making sure that students are going out the door and traveling on one side, while the class that's waiting to come in will line up and wait to come in on the other side. So again, we are trying to keep everybody safe. Traffic will be key. These are the bungalows in the sixth grade, what we call the sixth grade area. Did you want to add something, Ms. Lee?
Sorry, there's a question, a very important question about lunch, right? How can my child eat if they have a mask on during lunchtime? Lunch will be portioned out so that we don't have big groups at the same time. Again, parents, we want to stress safety is key. So basically, the world of JB, the way that students used to know it, is not, if they come back onto campus, it will not be the same. Students will most likely have to be kind of sectioned off in groups when they even have lunch together. So the cohort that they are with will be the cohort that they stay with until the end of the day. So we just have to adjust our expectation in terms of what to expect if you are choosing the hybrid learning model.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. And so again, we will have everything clearly marked. If you need any more information, we're going to be posting everything on our website as well as in social media. This is the main office number and my email. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to email me. That's probably the best way because I check my email every single hour on the hour, if not more. So please make sure if you have any questions, email me. That's the best way. But we'll also be posting everything, like I said, on our website.
And again, thank you, Mr. Gota, because it's absolutely true. Everything that we communicate will be posted first on the website as well as our social media platforms. It takes us a little bit longer to get connected messages ready. So if you are just curious, and if we have any important updates, those will be the primary sites as we get all the information together to send out the connected messages and emails from the school site. And again, a reminder, if you do need to test, if you would like your family to get tested, the COVID testing site for the Fairfax Community of Schools is LA High. So quick, very easy, and they maintain very safe protocols. I've been there a couple of times already. So, and then the turnaround for the test results seems to be much quicker than before. Next slide. So at this point in time, parents, are there any more questions and answers, Ms. Armendariz? Have you been noticing a theme?
Yes, I think that parents, first of all, you have outstanding questions, and I commend you because you're so forward thinking. A lot of questions are around, well, what exactly does it look like? How many kids will there be in a cohort? Is it the case that my child may not have the same teacher? What time will class start? Can I just pick hybrid for one day out of the week? So those were some of the key questions that popped up right now.
And that's a very good, big concern. I know for our, I have an elementary school daughter. I'm not gonna lie. She is very devoted to her teacher. So the thought of having not only just a disruption in her online learning experience, but potentially having a different teacher, if I choose a certain model over another, that's gonna be a big factor. All those are excellent questions, parents. But unfortunately, at this point in time, UTLA is still in contract negotiations with the district. So we do not have clear answers. And right now, I mean, there are so many models that are kind of out in the air as to what could potentially happen. We don't want to miscommunicate anything unless we have hard facts. But one thing is the truth is that when your student returns to campus, it'll be a different version of reality, but it will be just to ensure everyone's safety on our campus. Any other questions?
Ms. Lee, if I may add, I just want to, I want parents to understand that one of the key things, first, obviously safety, right? At all levels. Please know that at our school, we're very cognizant of following district policies. We want to follow mandates as prescribed by the state, by the county, and by LAUSD. That will drive the decision-making around all the spaces on the campus, now and when we go into hybrid. With respect to the scheduling, please know, the team knows, myself and the counselors in particular, have been waiting patiently to find out what model the district selects. Depending on the model that the district selects, for example, A, B, C cohorts. So for example, maybe Monday, it's one group of kids. Tuesday, it's a group of kids. Wednesday, it's a group of kids. And then we have to rotate those out, or it could be A, B. Monday is one group, Tuesday is a different group, and then we rotate again. All of that depends on what the district selects and identifies as either the model to follow or the possible models from which we choose. But remember that it's also sort of like a logic game and a mathematical puzzle, if you will. It's gonna also depend on how many parents identify hybrid as their preferred learning model, okay? How many of our teachers will be returning? And around the teacher piece, parents, please know, remember that UTLA, their union, has an entire different process that they're going through right now with the district. They're trying to hash out all the details, all the agreement on what they will and will not do. So we're waiting on a few different pieces to fall into place. And as soon as that information comes into our hands, this counseling team, this leadership team, the administrators will activate. And as soon as we are ready to do that, we will communicate with you. So for example, in this meeting today, Mr. Morales, the principal, wanted to make sure that before you went on Thanksgiving break, you knew the info. And we literally just got this information a couple of days ago, but we wanted to make sure to communicate it to you. So like, for example, Ms. Castillo, who I speak with a lot. Thank you, Ms. Castillo, for being here. Ms. Castillo's like, well, how soon will we know? How quickly? Because we want to prepare. You're absolutely right. You need to prepare. As soon as we know, we will let you know.
And a couple of questions about, wow, this is a big decision that I have to make as a parent. Absolutely. Ms. Chacon, I know you asked that question. I feel you. I'm a mom. I'm like, do I make a decision that could potentially affect my child's health, right? And the health of the family? I totally understand. So all of this information will be posted on the website within the hour as soon as we end this meeting. Family guide, as well as the election form. And again, we are not saying that we're opening when we come back from vacation. We are not even saying that we're reopening in January. Everything is dependent upon the test numbers. I mean, basically positive cases out in the community. This is just a plan of action. This is to let you know, parents, if we do have to reopen, we do have a model in place. We do have a plan in place. As you know, at John Burroughs, we love to be proactive. In case, it's all about an in case scenario. So again, it's just more about, I would rather be prepared than not prepared. So, and that's what Dr. Martinez has taught us. And that's what Mr. Morales is teaching us too. Let's get the information that we have now, disseminate, right, and for purposes of transparency, because this is going to have to be a collaborative effort with not only parents, students, school team members, teachers, and the community. So it's all about just for purposes of communication and transparency. And all of this is a what if, in case. Mr. Morales, did you want to add anything else?
You're muted.
I am sorry. We just want to make sure that our families are informed 100% of the time. Because you have a big decision that you're going to make within the next few days. And we want to make sure you have all of the information that you need. Because if we come back eventually, just like Ms. Lee was saying, we have to make sure that you're comfortable enough with the knowledge that at the school site, we will be taking care of your children as best as we can. And I just want to say thank you so much. Please communicate this information if you can to other families that you know that have children attending John Burroughs Middle School. And we will be back with you the Friday after Thanksgiving to make sure to update you with whatever information we have. Again, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Morales. It's absolutely true. We will be hosting another meeting just to update families, even if it's a quick one. But in addition, please join us for that Wednesday meeting so that we can go over how to log in or just even having parent portal access, because that, especially moving forward, it's going to be vital to parent choice and parent right and parent information.
Yes, thank you everybody for joining us. I really want to thank all of you for being here. We know you can be sure that we miss our students as much as they miss being at school with their friends, but we want to make sure that everybody is safe, which is why we are making sure that we are prepared. Thank you to everybody who's been putting in all that work. If you have any more questions, please do email all of us. I do speak Spanish and I write it. So if you feel comfortable and you want to write to me in Spanish, I will answer in Spanish and English. And I know that all of us are open to taking any questions via email, phone, or anything that you need. Please do reach out to us if you have any more questions in between now and the time when you have to make your decision.
And give us an hour. We will post everything on our website.
Ms. Lee, can I share a quick information about the dual
Thank you,
enrollment?
parents. And again, we don't, if you have any questions, please post them onto the Q&A portion. And parents, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We just miss you. Just please give your children extra hugs and kisses from all of us. We really, really do miss them.
Please stay safe next week, everybody.
Yes, stay safe.
Stay safe,
Take
please.
care.
Hang in there. We'll see you when it's safe to see each other in person.